How many of you are like newer to real estate? You guys out there, you don't have to mute yourselves or anything like that. I want you to all participate. How long have we been in the business?
Andy's new, Lisa's new, Keith is new. We've got a couple, you obviously know Taj. We're not new.
No.
Yeah, I think half and half, maybe a little.
Okay, so Deanna's been around a while. So you were around before 2008 in the market. So how many of you came in after 2008? Okay, so here's the cool thing, is that a lot of people have not gone through change in the market. You watched it go up. So how many of you are worried about the market?
Right now?
Yeah.
A lot of us should be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm concerned.
Yeah. Raise your hand.
Okay, so here's the thing. Real estate is all about markets, just like everything else is. So the people who came in at the very end when things were very easy to sell, except you have no inventory, this is why you have to prepare for the change. I've been in real estate since 1995. I've seen a lot of market. Which year did you get it? 03. Okay, so you
I
got.
will teach it out in Baroville.
Okay, yeah, for adults, right.
Yeah, so that
Okay.
was the year before that. Okay.
Okay, yeah, so it was 05. You got to know, because I started in 06.
Okay.
Okay, so you've been, yeah, so you've been a while, and I was 10 years before you. I started in 95. And the thing is, don't be afraid about the market, just stay engaged with it. Also, listen to the news stories out there, but only go along with half of it, because the news stories are actually on a national level. We are not in the same place that other parts of the country are. Like, think about Florida. How many of you want to sell in Florida? How long do you think it's going to be before you can get a 30-year mortgage in Florida when it's going to be underwater? Or they're saying in 30 years it's going to be 125. That's going to catch up. The lenders are going to say, wait a minute, should we really commit to a 30-year mortgage when it's going to be on fire in 10 years? Or it's going to be underwater? Those are all things that. Oh, how are you? Good, 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 good.
Good.
That's Trace's.
Yes.
Brought some other people in. So here's the thing. What I noticed about agents in 2008 when the shit hit the fan, I don't need a filter right now. Okay. Okay. I don't want to offend anybody because I'm the wrong person. Okay. But instead of staying engaged in the market, they said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go work at Burlington as a cashier. That's the worst thing you could do. Because over the years, the successful agents, they engage in the market and they work it through. Deanna, how many part-time jobs have you had over the years? She's a survivor. Yes, ma'am.
So what I was going to say, what I did, my feelings from 2008 was, like you were saying, different places, the market is different. Pittsburgh, we're kind of blessed because we have old money. And so I was told people were invited to the party, but we never made it. But we looked at the Penn Hills and the Wolfensburg, like a suburban neighborhood. And I didn't feel too much for me in 2008 being a city agent.
And people that were very bougie kind of burned themselves out. Like, I remember people saying, oh, I won't show anything below my average sales point. So my average sales point is $450,000. I don't want to sell that $200,000 house. Well, get over yourself because things are changing. Okay. The thing that I do want everybody to pay attention to is when we do have changes in the economy, we had the tax cut under President Trump. That affected people in the 750 and over price point. In a very, it impacted them a lot from the tax deductions they can take. The interest rates were so low that they didn't care. Because I can get a property at 2 3/4% interest, or I can get it at 3%. I know a man who, all his kids went to college, he built a house out in Treesdale, 12,000 square foot for him and his wife. And I said, why? He said, because I can, the interest rate's so low. What do you do with that house today? Because you can't claim all the taxes. And where's your new buyer gonna come from? So it's kind of a shift. Okay, we're gonna get back to basics, which is okay. Because it was really hard to get first-time buyers' houses over the past few years, wasn't it? So I asked our lovely lady from AGM, and I'm horrible with names.
Carrie Ann.
Carrie Ann, okay. I'm gonna change it, to make it easier on
All
myself.
right.
Okay. Okay.
Say care.
AGM, okay. So anyway, the thing is, I talked to her, and I spoke with her, and I spoke with Todd, and about, she can talk a little bit about some of the loan programs that are out there. Those are things that we need to know in changing markets, because now there's an opportunity for first-time home buyers. Deanna mentioned Penn Hills. Back in 2008, Penn Hills was averaging 21 foreclosures a month, and the price of homes plummeted. And it also was the fastest market to recover, which was really, really interesting about that. And property values went up, so staying engaged for one, and knowing the markets, but it's a great opportunity to help people. And the one thing that I like to be back with this group at Keller Williams is that you guys do your KW Cares, and you go out and you help people. And I know whenever hurricanes have happened, you folks have loaded up trucks and people have driven down to the site. You do your career day and your red day. That's something that's very important about giving back to communities, which I really like about your company. Okay, and it's like you focus on what's important out there. But now we have an opportunity for that first-time home buyer, because we're still getting offers on homes, right? Okay, I don't want to see any of you working at Burlington over Christmas. Okay, another thing that I can tell you is I've traveled the state of Pennsylvania doing some education from KW a few years ago. And some of you in your companies had Joe meet with me. And it was one of the best experiences I've ever had, because your leaders between Joe and Jen, J&J, are amazing. Jen has stuck by this office through a lot of change. And positive change, because she believed in it. I went to Philadelphia at Exton, and I walked into a KW office, there were 200 agents. And it was like a newsroom. There were 4 people on the front desk. You had 3 Alanas. And they were doing really, really well. So when I met Joe, I was like, this is really cool. And I'm like, I was really happy to be invited back into your KW family to do education. And tying in with my title company that I just made the switch, because my problem was, those of you that know me know that I'm really out there, right? And I'm a lot. And I know that, okay? But I love doing what I do. I love reaching people and I love talking to them. And the great part about it was having my own independent school, not tied to one particular company. And now getting into the title, it's coming full circle, and to be back with Herb over there, because she's Herb on Peaches, remember, we're reunited again. Lori and I work together, we work very well together. And we like helping agents. We were able to work with the companies and build things up. And now we're completely free. We can help you all. And it's just really, really a great feeling. So some of the things we're going to talk about today, we're willing to meet with you all one-on-one and help you with your business and how to take that to the next level. This is kind of an introduction today, and actually knowing about, and Jen over here, it's a really great opportunity to have somebody who's really committed to be here. And she also loves education. That was one of the things I really liked about KW. Very happy to see my very good friend Denise back. Okay, she was our boomerang agent. She went out somewhere and she said, red's a little bit nicer than blue and white for me. Okay, and it's like, okay, I'm back home again. It's a great thing, because this lady has a lot of energy. I remember meeting her on the front desk. You do, and you're a beautiful person inside and out. I've had the privilege of having you in the pre-license classes, doing things like that.
So how much money did y'all pay for these?
More than you.
Right, all right,
So I really would like you all to like focus on, one of the things that I truly believe in is agents coming to an office. It's a people business, folks. I understand that you're kind of in transition right now to your new move, but when Lori and I worked together, we had a city office, more business got done around our family table because of engaging in the office. This pandemic was crazy, right? But guess what? It was also an excuse for people. Oh, the pandemic. You know what? Everything we can use an excuse for. Okay, oh, this, that, or whatever. It's like, okay, you got to stay focused, and you got to be thinking about your business. What you're doing today, you're not going to see for 60 days, right? So this is the worst part about real estate agents. If I'm busy today, I'm not thinking about tomorrow. And then all of a sudden, when we get to tomorrow, we don't have any business. You have to keep things in the pipeline. That's a hard thing for people to grasp. So you do have a great leader over here. And my role, and Lori's role, is to help you all moving forward, okay? And that's one of the things we want to do. So 3 steps to recession-proof your real estate business. It's possible to emerge from a down market stronger than you went to, so as long as to do the groundwork. So I have been around since John F. Kennedy was president. Not in real estate, I'm not that old, okay? But when I was 2, he was assassinated. In the 1970s, do you know what interest rates were?
In the 15, 16, 18.
15–16%. There are still real estate agents who sold real estate that are still in business. They survived that shit. Okay? And you know what? They did land contracts and things, and they survived that. Don't be afraid. Fear will just stop you from doing what you dream of, unless you do want to work at Burlington. And that's a true story about, I saw a top agent in 2009 working as a cashier in Burlington. And you know what? She never got back into business. So engage yourself and take advantage of that, okay? Real estate market is shifting. NAR is forecasting that home sales will fall by 9% this year. But you know what? How many of your clients were not able to get homes because there was nothing available for them? It's not a bad thing. Fannie Mae predicts a modest recession on the horizon in 2023. They're talking about a real estate recession. Since this information, I pulled this in June, we've changed all of it. It's not as bad as they were predicting just less than 2 months ago. Now we just passed an inflation act. We don't know where that's all going to shake out. But don't focus on the whole, listen to everything, but focus on you and how we can check 15, 16, 17% interest rates. And we still have a real estate market. Everybody needs housing. Okay? I want an $800,000 home, but I need a home. Maybe it's a $250,000 home. Can you sell those? If you list a home for $250,000, can you sell that? So just believe in yourselves. Just go forward. It's just gonna. It's nice to sell the. Don't turn the $800,000 buyer away. Okay, but understand your customer base is changing. All right.
Steve, when you say customer base, I'm thinking, my buyer to the community.
Right.
So recently, like in Oakwood, I sold a totally I've heard of. But now, over the news of the week, well, yesterday, today, there's all this focus on home. So it'll be like, instead of me focusing on that market going down, focusing on an area that may encourage.
That's geofarming.
Wait, what did you say?
Geofarming.
Okay. She said geoforming. Did you all hear Deanna back in TV land? Lisa is like very still.
I think that's a screenshot.
I know. I was being an ass. Okay, it works for me.
It's up here with Taj Mahal. Okay?
Okay.
Right.
So anyway, so just start thinking about things and learning more. Okay, just stay engaged in things. Do you all pay attention to the news? And how do you get your news?
CNN app.
Online. What kind of online?
MSNBC app, CNN, Daily Mail.
Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to get involved in local stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I want you to go to Next Pittsburgh if you're not on it. It's a free app and you download it, okay? You all need to just kind of re-engage yourself and get back to basics. That's what, how many of you actually think the pandemic had some good things?
I'm gonna say good traffic.
Less traffic. How many of you engage more with your families? That could be good or bad.
Yeah.
Okay, depending on your family, but we won't go there. Okay. However, it's like getting back to those basics. That's another thing that we all have to hit the reset button in any industry we're in. And now there's an opportunity because people 2 years ago that came to the market, they don't know what seller's assist is. Okay, that was something that we did all the time, seller's assist. Okay, work with your lender partners, talk to lawyers, myself, just kind of engage in those types of things because it's back. It's kind of like Denise, it's a boomerang. She went out the door, she said, "Ooh, it's climate's better here." Okay, so while economists stress we are not heading for another 2008, folks, 2008 was a lot of predatory lending. Properties were so overinflated. Don't let anybody tell you that it's going to be the shit show we had in 08. It's kind of on a down. We still have a housing shortage. Okay. In my broker's class the other day, we went down to the strip district. How many apartments are vacant down there? 2. 2. We visited all of those new high-end apartments there. And I remember people saying, they're building all this stuff. It's all going to be empty. Let's short the apartment industry. No. And I literally walked through the one property manager. And she just said, "Oh, I don't care. I lived in New York. These prices are cheap. I don't care." That's all she talked about. It's the highest zip code now to live in the Pittsburgh area, is the Strip. Okay, so don't worry about 2008 coming back. But we do seem to be done with the era where every house on the market received non-contingent offers of double digit. It's called normalcy. What we went through the past 2 years was not normal, right? It wasn't like going to the singles bar, right?
Again.
Everybody walked.
You just found the wrong feet.
Here you go.
You're my boomerang girl. It was like every buyer out there was like that hot one walking into the singles bar. Okay, 9 o'clock, feeling really good about yourself, and everybody wanted you. Then you started getting desperate. Nobody's buying me drinks at 10 or 11. 1 o'clock comes and damn, you wake up the next morning and say, "How drunk was I when I'm with you?" Those days are over for now. Okay? But there's still somebody who was a 5 at 9 o'clock was a 10 at 1:45. Okay, that's what was happening in housing market. That wasn't normal, wasn't sustainable. We're just normal now. That's okay. A balanced market. Deanna, you and Lori have been around that know that we went from this period of time where it was a buyer's market for a long time. We went from a buyer's market to a balanced market very quickly, and then we went into a seller's market. We're to a balanced market, which is good. Do not be afraid of the career that you've chosen. Just work it and stay engaged with it. You have to touch your business every day, because if you get away from it, you just kind of like, well, I'm going to take today off. A lot of people have that pandemic brain. I'm going to take today off, and I'm going to get back to it tomorrow or next week. And then something happens, and the next thing you know, you're at Burlington wrapping people's Christmas gifts. Nothing wrong with Burlington, by the way. I think I got this shirt. Not my pants. No, these pants weren't Burlington. All right. No, my friend Lori's strictly a gaze. Okay. The good news for the dedicated agents that a softer market can be a great time to gain market share. Greener part-time agents tend to drop out of the industry when things get hard. However, it's also not a bad time to come in, because if you come in this market, you will learn more. Just stay focused. It's so easy not to stay focused. Stay focused, talk to your team leader, and be engaged and learn things that are out there. But you guys have a great company here. You really do. And you offer a lot of trainings and things like that. And you got like 2 great leaders in J&J. Okay. By the way, my partner there's double L. She tried to tell me her name was Deanna Davis, but you are not double D's. You are double L. So it's possible to emerge from a down market stronger than you went in, but only if you've taken the time to plan accordingly. Here are 3 steps you need to help you approach the shifting market from a position of strength. First thing first, you need a business plan. We're going to talk about that later on. But we can help you separately. That's not what today's about. Today's an overview. You really need a business plan. Too many agents throw different strategies at the wall, hoping something will stick. But that's an inefficient way to run a business. The single most effective way of reaching your goal is to define them in writing. I don't want you to raise your hand, but how many of you have a business plan?
Sorry.
Sit down, raise your hand. I'm glad you did. Okay. So, and that's, people sometimes make money in spite of themselves. And then all of a sudden, if you don't have a plan to tell you where you're going, you don't know if you arrive. You don't know where tomorrow's coming from. You're like, oh, it was easy to make money in the market we were in. Now you got to kind of work at it. It's okay. I want somebody educated to sell my property. I don't want someone to say, oh, I'm looking for extra money. That's when you go to Burlington. Okay. You want to sell my $500,000 house or my $200,000 or my $75,000 house. Maybe that $75,000 house isn't my dream home. That's what I can afford. Do you feel good about helping people in those markets? And but if you're going to sell my property, I want someone who's not looking for extra money. I'm looking for someone who's a real estate professional, and that's really important. I would like all of you, and this is one of my star students, no effect. We talked about being a real estate professional. When I saw her putting that out there on Facebook, I was like, yes. Okay, look at that smile. I remember stuff like that. I get my rewards in life from seeing people be successful.
Steve Chupinka said, but our leadership in a different way. Last week, when Bill was asking us for strategies, and basically, he was a little upset with us because he was looking at it like we were throwing our business at the wall.
I think, yeah, but that's a good point, and I talked to him about that afterwards, and I said, you know, a 30-minute call doesn't get to the bottom of like the answers, the questions he was asking. And I think we already know that Spears is usually the #1 funnel in your business, and we teach that you need 3. You need a stable chair, a stable table, if you will, and Spears is usually the top one. And what we don't do, or what agents don't often do, is feed that funnel properly and document it and track it. And so that's your database, you know, on the database, that's your database. And so, you know, he thinks that we're just throwing stuff, but we're not. We just, you know, some of us just aren't tracking all of our people or have them all in a system, but that is what we teach, you know, or it's definitely do that.
So when I just saying that, that's what it made me think about our meeting last week, because, you know, our OPE of us wanting to chunk food.
That's okay, that's okay.
And aren't they full of themselves?
The OPs.
No.
Is
this recorded?
It is. It is.
Aren't you full of yourselves?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
What other industry do you go into and say, oh, I'm Taj, got this great name, Taj Mahal. And I sold $1 million worth of real estate last year. That's pretty good. Because the public thinks, what, she's a millionaire. And I'm like, Taj, you understand your income? The greeter at Walmart makes more than you, right? Your daughter's getting WIC. because you don't make enough money. You're on the CHIP program, thank goodness, right? You qualify for all those, and every real estate broker out there is trying to recruit you. And they're gonna offer you money. They're gonna offer you money, so you're gonna sell yourself. How many of you have never been recruited before? That's exactly it, right?
Yeah.
So you're a $1 million producer. You got your 2007 Chevy Cobalt with your $1 million producer license plate on it, and people want you. Okay, that's where the business is. You want to look for your leadership and where you're going to go in the future. But don't let things distract you out there about give you $5,000 to come on over this side. Are you worth $5,000? 10, 20, 30, no, you're worth a lot more to do whatever you can do. Don't let the outside world distract you. Stay focused, but stay educated. Because if you stay uneducated, those are the things that will hold you back. Those are truly the things that will hold you back. Okay?
Well, back to your slide actually, is if you're not writing down your goals, if you're not creating a plan, you don't know how to stay on track, right? Because it's the shortest distance between here and there. And it's difficult as leaders to hold people accountable, right, to their goals. But that's really what we want. We want good leaders, I think, want the best for the people that are working with them. They want to see them succeed. And so it's that accountability to their own goals that individual sets. So,
Teresa, Taj, Allie, and Denise. Who's the woman who should be president today? Judge Judy, right? Because of what Jen just said, it has to be in writing. Okay? Judge Judy says, don't tell me what Lori said, show me what she said. Okay? That's why writing your business plan down and doing that keeps you focused. We had a lot of ideas on our head. I'm gonna. That's what you say when you're 20. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Man, my hourglass right now has so much sand on the bottom, and I don't know how much time's left up top. But I'm gonna live my life to the best right now. But you've got to have a written plan and stay focused and stay organized. That's why you have CRMs and you build business plans and you stay like that. Something to keep you focused. Okay. So define them in writing, create a detailed plan of the steps you'll take to achieve them. Second, build a pipeline should be the primary focus of your business plan for next year. When you talk to somebody, you want to let every single person know you're a real estate agent. Okay. I had one lady tell me that when I first got into real estate, to let everybody know that you're a real estate agent. I had a house sale one time because I was moving. I ended up selling a duplex up the street from telling somebody I was a real estate agent because their agent wasn't getting back to them. They didn't think they were serious about that. You have got to work that into your plan, okay? But build that pipeline, because just because Jen is not ready to buy a house today, guess what? Next year, she gets pregnant with triplets. She's got to move, right? Or we get all of a sudden we think, let's get a dog, okay? And somebody has a backyard for Chihuahua, and they get a Great Dane. And they decide, I think I need a bigger backyard. People move for a variety of reasons. They get divorced, they have multiple pregnancies, all kind of different things, okay? Maybe they become a throuple. Teresa's eyes lit up. Okay. Did I go too far? Did I go too far, Teresa? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So many agents haven't kept their marketing or reaching out to their spheres. Jen mentioned spheres. That may have worked when houses were flying off the MLS, but agents who don't double down on lead generation, marketing, and connecting with their spheres are going to struggle in a slower market. The market's been so hot for so long that it may have been a while since you made a real investment in strengthening your database. Now's the time to change that. You know, I'm going to do this. I just made a career change at 61. I'm dyslexic. I feel like I'm 16. Okay. I'm going over the full title signing with my bestie, and I'm loving it. Okay. But I also believe in what I do. And we're building and we're using a CRM and stuff like that. And it's like, it's great. It's great to reject yourself every now and then. Okay? It's kind of like you have kids. Allie, you have kids, right? How many?
2.
Do? It's a lot of work, right? It's sometimes you just need to go back to having a date night. So you connect with yourself. Okay? Or time. Can anybody go out by themselves and have a good time? Oh, absolutely, right? Sometimes just getting in touch with yourself, getting in touch with your business and doing those types of things. Okay. Take a hard look at where your leads are coming from right now. Identify the most effective channels and commit to those. Stop spending on tactics you can't prove are helping drive revenue, right? So many people will buy everything, okay? Deanna, why do I need you as a broker? Why do Jen and Joe need you? No, that's true. That's true, right? Because you are worth something.
Right, but I also need them, also like we talk about.
Absolutely.
Right, and we talk about, the past.
And she said, I don't have to worry about it being 1:45. I already got to get up on my Tinder account.
My God. But being able to turn to great leadership, and we're very fortunate right now, because 3 years ago, I was calling you to solve the problem. I'm not going to do that, so.
I blocked her.
But the leadership, because like in our situation, he holds us accountable every 2 Fridays, right? And I never had that before. Somebody actually said, you have to be accountable, right? I heard people say, you need a business plan. I heard this. But now they're like making us be accountable.
Now you know why, right? You were told you need this, but not why. That's why you have your partnership with your leadership or whatever. That's what makes you successful. Okay? And she understands that if you're all successful, she's successful. The fact that you guys are spending a lot of money from your ownership for your new office shows a commitment right there by your people who are actually in charge. That's a beautiful thing. Okay. If they said, well, you know what, we're looking for a basement place, and Alana, get yourself a miner's hat because it's gonna be really dark down there. We're gonna be in the basement somewhere. That's not good, right? Okay. I actually love when I first started doing education company to be the director of first impression. That is really a KW thing. It's like you walk in there. I told you all about the woman who said, I don't care. Now, I was with 2 women when we did this thing, and they're like, did you notice that her fingernails were dirty? She had black pants on, and she had, they were dirty. And she had an appointment with us to show. She was a leasing agent. She's like, you know what? I get paid a salary, and I don't care. I have 2 units to rent. That commission isn't worth one. No. That's why your job, you're getting commission. And it's like, how many of you ever served in a restaurant or a bartender? Right? You managed your own business then, didn't you? It's like, if you treated her like crap, okay, she's like, it's no tip Friday. Okay, you want to work for that $283 an hour? Go ahead. If you don't want to stay engaged in real estate, you're not going to make anything. I'm not telling you anything you don't know already. Automate and outsource low value tasks. You need to be focusing on the $300 an hour work, not the $20 an hour work. The most valuable thing you could be doing with your time is $300 an hour work. This is accomplished by connecting with your clients, not posting to social or sending out postcards. How many of you have a mentee? How many of you want to have a mentee? You have one? The 2 of you. I thought you 2 were having an affair, but that's a whole different story. Okay. Hey, I can say what I want. They're my invited guests, right? Okay. So the thing is, how many of you want a mentee?
Every good agent should want one. I think you learn so much by teaching.
Where do you get your mentees from?
Well, for us, we could go KW's
Max.
right. not coaching, you know. So we have the resources and, you know, I'm always.
That's the wrong answer. The wrong answer is talk to me.
So,
I'm a matchmaker.
Well, where have you been?
You tell me what you're looking
Great.
for. I got people that actually want to come in and learn this business, and they will do the $20 to $20 an hour jobs to help them start their career and learn from a seasoned professional. Okay, I'm not saying what you have over there doesn't work, but I'm also saying it's a people business. I'm the only one still doing in-person classes. I won't do Zoom classes. No offense to you at home, I'm glad you're here. But pre-license classes is not something people play with. It's just really not. It's an in-person. I have so many people coming through my class right now, Teresa. We're filling up because people that have tried these other things are saying, I need to learn something in person. This isn't working. It's just not working. Because you got Deanna trying to get a real estate license, but she's watching her grandkids in the background, and Trace's over there is talking to the dog, and it's like, and then they come back and interrupt. It's a hot mess. It can't be done, in my opinion. And if it can be for people, that's great. But for me, it's like I'm seeing quality people. So if you say to me, hey, I'm looking for someone, I'll help you with that.
I feel like the in-class attendees fare better on the exams and they make it through.
They do.
Statistically speaking, I think they seem more serious when they're in person.
It really is, it's your focus.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. But it's okay to have some new mentee do this type of work. Hosting, meeting, getting out there and growing the base, because you're actually helping them as well. I'm actually involved on a board for affordable housing. We had a strategic planning yesterday. We were talking about how hard it is in the post-COVID world to move things forward. Everybody's busy or things like that. So you haven't learned how to delegate. And the other thing was, it was really interesting what happened. Dan, I think you were with me when we did generational.
Yeah, that's when I met
Yeah,
you.
we actually did think about working with all generations. And it was like the boomers, a lot of boomers retired in affordable housing over the pandemic. And they were afraid of the younger generations were going to try to take their job because it's an era they grew up in. They never trained you to take over. And now they're trying to figure things out. That's what you do as a successful agent. You help develop new people. Okay? It's not a one-person show. Okay, the fact that we got people here around the table and stuff, it's a person's business. It's just to build that together. Work with your partners, work with your lenders, work with your title, get to know them. Okay, because that's where you're going to have resources together to help you grow your business. Automate and outsource low-value tasks again. So many agents are out of practice at deceptively simple tasks that become essential in a success in a slower market. Like keeping your seller informed on the status they're listed. That's why it's critical for you to take the time to streamline the administrative work so you can gear up for spending more time engaging with clients. Folks, you can form a real estate team, and sometimes you don't have to. You can connect with somebody, okay? I'm gonna pick on these two ladies because I brought them here beginning picks today, okay? This young lady right here was a lender and she worked title. This young lady is a processor, title, post closing, and all of that. If you have strengths that you want to outsource people, there are human beings out there in the market that are breaking into the business that can help you and you can help them at the same time. Those are also the things you sow the seeds for the future in this changing market. Find a support network. To thrive through a down market, you have to be creative, resourceful, and open to new ideas. So important to be in an environment where everyone knows they're in this game together and ready to help each other out. Deanna, how many times have a new agent come to you and said, hey, can you help me with it? And you said, absolutely not, I'm busy.
Please do not micromanage it, don't I?
Yeah.
Exactly, right, exactly. That's what it's all about. It's about that. Because you know what, there's a time when you need this new person or this coworker to help you with something.
And when I started at Hall, Mary was one of the top agents. Her sister still is the top agent. And I mean, she would never even walk into my closings. Right? But she believed in me, right? And even when we started one thing downtown, Pittsburgh, call a sales meeting. And she sat there very bluntly, she said, oh, girl, so why didn't you pick Deanna? Because she's one of the rookies of the year. The girl said, oh, well, you know, oh, but she's black, that's why I didn't pick her. And the whole room was like, and so it forced Carl put me downtown Pittsburgh. Whenever I had any problems, I mean, even as far as my son going to ski club, you know, she would get every, you know, her son is going to ski club. And these jackets was like $500, $600, $700. I didn't know that back then. But yeah. And even with this thing, I still want it.
I mean, it's all networking. It's really networking. And just because somebody like, you know, like the trader over there, Denise. So, but she came back as a boomerang, right? It wasn't like the fact that she left and Jen was like, I'm not gonna talk to her again. Okay, it's all about, hey, we work together, we say stuff, and it's like, you know, look at this beautiful view out there.
I'm gonna add something here too, and I think it's part of like what Ruby, this poor woman over here, is getting from you, but for a year now, I've been in a networking group of women in the real estate industry. And it's multiple realtors that are in different brokerages. There's a lender, there's a couple of people in title, there's a settlement, there's an insurance. And I just feel like those are things that we encourage, you know, for people, how involved you are in the community and how people just, you're the first person they think of is just building, like you said, but staying in relationship. And
How many men are in that networking group?
0,
Why?
because we call ourselves lay leaders.
But you know what? When I lived in Washington, PA, Washington, PA was a very democratic town. And there was a guy that actually was running for council on the Republican ticket, and he joined the women's business group.
Yeah. First of all, if a man approached us and we felt like it was a good fit, I don't think we'd say no. Number 2, it was mostly started out of because a couple of the women in there had littles and were starting to have kids, and they just needed support from other women that had been through it and needed that advice and that support. But I just am saying that because, you know, is keeping your sphere big in terms of the folks that you're surrounding yourself with that are successful minded too.
And just like myself, I'm actually just asked to be on a consultant for a board of a minority owned. It's an all black company. They want me to be their consultant. Okay, and it's like, that's okay. LGBTQ, right? Yeah. Okay, I know you. Right? Okay, yeah, believe it or not, I do. And guess what? It doesn't mean you have to be gay to work with people who are gay or support them or be on the boards and things like that. It just means that you're friendly. Okay, and it's like there's opportunity out there everywhere for all of you. Okay, but that networking is so big. Okay, you don't want to be that secret agent. Okay?
Yeah.
What's that?
You don't want to be secret level?
Oh, that's a whole different story. But we don't have time for that. But the thing is, how many times did I say in my class when you guys were here, let people know you're taking real estate classes today. Don't be that secret agent that says, oh, I don't want to tell them until I take my exam. It helps make you accountable.
Yes.
Okay, it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, you don't have to tell them I'm taking my test tomorrow in case it takes you to next week to get it. You say, I'm taking my classes and all of that type of thing. Believe in yourself. Because you know what RuPaul says, if you don't believe in yourself, how the hell is someone else going to believe in you, right? Okay, find a support network. Process will look different depending on where you are in your career. It could mean joining a highly productive team, being mentored by an expert who has prospered through the market shifts before. Or it could mean doubling down on continuing education, seeking out mastermind groups, committing to making more connections in industry events. If you don't have a group of agents you can turn to for advice, when you can commiserate, when the going gets tough, let this be your call to find one. Okay, we're going to switch over to the other PowerPoint, and then we'll leave as many questions as we can. So let me get our.
Just like when I was starting out and I was taking my classes, I started my Instagram and I would take like photos of me building like index cards without paper. And then like when I'm in class, I would take pictures of other people's faces or whatever. Just putting things in those seeds,
Close the other one out.
lines that that's your career goal, that's the shift that you're making. Those are simple things that you can do to just start that conversation. while he's doing that, I'll say too, like, we started, anybody can join. We started a Market Monday call, it's at 10 a.m. every Monday. And what I do is I have a spreadsheet that tracks all the market data from the MLS, so that we're not listening to. the
This one right
chatter
now?
on the News or whatever, we're actually looking at the numbers. And what are the numbers saying? Well, we've got more listings, we've got price reductions, more days on market. It's telling us the trends. We're not looking at somebody else to tell us that. We're looking at the numbers ourselves so that we know what's happening.
No,
I was just filling in space for it.
No, it's absolutely, this is what exactly what it's about, the whole team. Getting around the dinner table and saying, how are we all want to be here next year instead of at
Well, and
Burlington.
Yeah, well, and how amazing is it? Like, I was literally at a house the other day and there were contractors in the driveway doing the roof next door. And I was standing on the front porch waiting for my client. He goes, oh, did you sell the house? And I said, yeah, we're doing our final walkthrough. He goes, how's the market? If I had a nickel, I could retire. Every single time you're just, somebody hears or sees you or whatever, and they know you're a realtor, they're like, how's the market? Things slowing down? Imagine what that looks like. If you're like, well, days on market's down 38% and blah, 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 blah. No joke, just like, yeah, I mean, if you're serious about your business, you'll be serious about the research.
Because everybody,
Yeah.
like Jen said, people ask, everybody's interested in real estate. Why do you think HGTV is so
Yeah.
popular?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Netflix has how many home shows on right now?
Oh, so many.
Right? Everybody is interested in it.
Yeah.
Whether
I think
it's
a lot
good-
of people think they're experts too. They
Yeah.
get these snippets from the news, and it's really nice to be able to say, well, no, actually, this is what's happening, as opposed, we can dispel myths.
Yeah.
The more
Does
we know.
anybody crack up whenever they sign the sales agreement, and the guy goes, you just bought a house?
I'm like,
And I
well, like, you just started.
go, get ready for the ride, you didn't see nothing yet. That always cracked me up.
Okay, so how to create a real estate business plan. And this, we're not going to show you the whole thing here, because over and overview why. You can meet with Jen, myself, Jen and I, whatever, and we can help you all with that later on. Okay, that's what the whole purpose of today is. It's about letting you know why you need one. Okay, every agent needs a plan to succeed. A real estate business plan keeps you accountable and on track. An optimal business plan for real estate agents includes firm goals, but it's also fluid. You want to update your real estate business plan as you grow and the market evolves. We have hurricanes. We had a pandemic. We had interest rates change. Those are all things that happen in every market. You can't control that. But you don't sit back and say, oh my God, I am so sick of hearing, oh, COVID. COVID is a 4-letter word. It's actually 5, but make it a 4-letter word. Okay. It's an old excuse. Are you going to let that stop you?
Everybody uses it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? Let them use that as their crutch. Don't let that be your crutch. Just move forward. The whole world went through COVID, not just you.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like,
It was a collective experience. Move on.
oh, I was depressed. No, nobody really cared about that. I mean, God, Lori and I couldn't get to a bar for how long? Talk about depression.
I was gonna say that, but I said, no, I'm gonna let that one slide.
Bring it out, girl.
Thank God I didn't close the liquor stores.
Oh,
Right?
no. Hey, I
Okay.
got nothing for delivery.
Okay, I taught some of these people in pre-license class, and I said, it doesn't have to be expensive to market yourself. The best marketer out there used to be Madonna. You old enough to remember Madonna? She's on Social Security now, just so you know. Okay, but Madonna,
And dating at 20.
when she first came out, everybody wanted their daughter to be like Madonna. Because she did celebrate. She did all this little cute stuff.
And then she sang like a virgin.
And then she was like,
No, she went like this. All y'all went out and bought all your little daughters back to school clothes. They had little lace dresses with bows in the hair and fingers with the glove. Then she turned around, boom,
Yeah.
and she had on her traffic cone bra.
Yeah.
And she did like a virgin. It was like, oh my God, I don't want anybody. My daughter to be like this because she wanted to be like that, this teenager. This 20-year-old. She completely reinvented herself. One time she went completely Asian. We were throwing her that. She always reinvented herself. She was a good marketing person, and then Donald Trump came along. And he actually used free media to market himself and become president of the United States. And he spent hardly anything to get there. You all can do this. Just looking at that and saying that, hey, other people become successful without having to spend a lot of money. You don't need to spend $4,000 a month to get leads. But the plan allows you to stay current with market trends and ahead of the competition. It all helps you track results over time, testing lead generation strategies, develop new marketing approaches. And it's okay to revisit and say, this isn't working. Let me refocus here. Hey, team leader, what am I doing wrong? If you don't ask her, she doesn't know. Agent's business plan can increase an average of 27% when implementing a business plan for the first time. People make money, stupid money, just because the opportunity was there. Now you gotta work. Here's what a good real estate agent's business plan will show you. Where you're at today, where you wanna be, how to get there, how to measure your performance, when and where to make a course correction. Write a real estate business plan. The benefits are clear, but where do you start? Here are my recommended steps for creating a business plan for real estate agents. Write an executive summary. Anybody ever involved in a nonprofit or some kind of business venture? What's the first thing you do first? What's the first? Mission statement.
Good.
How smart y'all are. You don't need me. Lori, let's get on the board. We're done. Okay. Real estate business planning should always start with a summary of who you are, what services you offer, where you operate, and who you'll serve. Okay. Allie, you're what, 20? Okay. At 20 years old, what do you have to offer your clients at 20? Wow, look at her. She's full of herself. I love it. Like energy, right? Okay. You can really relate to a lot of people. You're hungry.
Yeah.
Good for you. Okay. Good for you.
And more reason why.
Example, John Smith is a real estate agent who serves clients, particularly first-time home buyers. He offers home buying and home selling services. He recommends good mortgage and title services. Define your mission statement. It's the foundation, supports your entire business plan. It should clearly state your guiding principles and goals. Example, with a passion for helping people find their way home. John Smith guides first-time home buyers through the entire process, even offering mortgage and title assistance. How many of you ever had a listing? Raise your hand like this. I had a listing, be proud of that, right?
You're gonna yell at me for answering.
No, we're not gonna yell at you for that. Okay. I didn't ask you if you're married. Married people go, yeah. If you had a listing, boast it, be proud. Did you ever do an open house?
Yes.
How about those of you that have not had a listing? Have you ever done an open house? Should. How do you meet people? Oh, online. How's that working for you? They catfish themselves. Okay. Do you ever see somebody with a filter? Good God. Okay. It's pretty bad, right?
Yeah.
You gotta get out there and meet people. Do stuff. Doing an open house with this successful agent, it's time for me to be nice to her. Okay. And you say, can I do an open house for you, Denise? Okay. She says, yeah, help prepare them for the open house because she's doing 2 other ones. She's a successful listing agent. AGM. I know she has Carrie Ann or something, right? Carrie Ann? Oh, there you go. Okay. Okay. Would you like to come and help me at my open house? It's the first time I've done one. And maybe you'll pre-qualify somebody. I remember back at a buyer's market, I pre-qualified for someone. I had a lender there pre-qualify someone in Clare. You know where the steel mills, the coke plant, not the fun kind of coke, the smelly stuff in here. Okay, where that stuff came out. And we sold the house at an open house that day.
I was talking to a recruitment agent. I'm trying to get back to Keller Williams. And he said that things started slowing down for him in the summer. So he hit the floor and started hosting open houses again. It's a kid that's already doing 2 million this year, it's close to 2 million, but he wants more. I was like, that's the kind of person I was doing business with that sees when things start slowing down, they gotta go back to the basics.
Get back to basics.
Because as we get busy and the business is lucrative for the busy agents, that's one of the first things we give up. We don't wanna do open houses anymore, so we're always going to give that to new agents that wanna get in front of buyers to keep those leads.
Is it a good time to be in the business?
Yes.
Yeah. Nobody's afraid of it, right? Don't be afraid. How many have noticed you got more recruiting calls lately?
Oh, I have,
Why?
because they're struggling.
Because June happened.
Yeah.
And we had part-time Patty over here. I'm not gonna pick anybody out. It was like all of a sudden, part-time Patty's spouse said to them, or partner said to them, you know what, you haven't closed anything in 6 months. You have an expensive hobby. I'm not gonna renew my license. There goes part-time Patty. That allows new real estate professionals to come in. And it allows people to get back to basics and move forward. That's exciting. This is not rocket science. I mean, don't feel so good about yourselves. You went to 60, 75 hours of real estate education and you passed the test. Every dumbass agent out there that you hate to work with passed their test. Too.
Exactly.
Okay? So you two ladies, don't let that be the crutch. Oh, I gotta pass my real estate. Every dumbass agent out there that you don't want to deal with, and you both dealt with them in your backgrounds, they passed the damn test.
Yeah.
That's not the hard part. Like Lori said, the hard part's not signing the contract, it's getting that damn thing to close
Yeah, that's right.
and getting your check.
Well, and don't you find too, I don't mean to be, talking smack about seasoned agents, but seasoned agents get lazy too. They don't notice changes in the contracts. They don't stay engaged with education and keeping themselves informed.
They've been comfortable.
They've been comfortable, and so newer agents can come in with fresher ideas and being hungry, and older seasoned, I don't say older necessarily, but seasoned agents get lazy. They think it's always gonna be busy, and there's just plenty of opportunity for people that are willing to
You
do
mean
the
like,
things.
how long have you been?
Oh my God. I've been doing this for
You
20
better
years.
run a long time and you know nothing,
Exactly.
okay? Contracts change.
Yeah.
Really?
Lots of
I've been
change.
selling real estate. I mean, Lori actually closed a Louisiana purchase. That's how long she's been. in
No,
title.
stop it.
Okay.
Even like with the season
He
agents.
was alive at George Washington.
I dated him.
Even with the season agents, like, they'll go on their own side and see how much they think you're making or what type of clients you're dealing with. So then when you go to do a deal with the season agent and they're listing as 300, but you just sold 5 $20,000 houses, your mentality and their attitude towards you is going right. You don't have to cuss them out. Just
Do your thing.
do your thing.
There's one thing about dealing with those people. And there was a person I had in my broker's class, and I love her for saying this. She's actually semi-retired now. But her motto was, you know what? I'm dealing with this really trifling, hard person to deal with. She always has to be right. Let her be. You're never because you want to get paid, right? And she said, I'd rather be rich than right. Let this person always think they're right and get the damn thing done and collect your check. Because
Yeah.
how many of you have seen,
Oh,
how many of you seen a real estate deal fall apart because these two agents couldn't get along? It's stupid. You make nothing. And you do not do, what's the F word? Fiduciary, right? My fiduciary, this is my client. That's how you get it close. I mean, we all want to have money, right? That's why we're here. It's fun, but you also want to have money. Okay. If you're working with a team, include all members who contribute to succeed and how they help. Create a table that shows their roles, responsibilities, and timeframes for specific tasks. Your team can be somebody you're not even paying yet. It might be, okay? But it might be, hey, Lori, can you help me get to this closing as your title partner? Hey, Carrie Ann, okay? She's gonna help you, right? Because guess what? If you make money, she makes money. What a beautiful world it is. Everybody gets a trophy today, right? We went to closing. Okay, create a team management summary.
What's that, Steve?
So this is something we would move into about actually naming and functioning. This is something we'll do if we sit down one-on-one. Okay, to build some things. Okay, know your target client. Who is your target client? This 20-year-old is going to work with young people. All right. This, okay, first-time home buyers. This 40-year-old's looking at all her divorced friends. Okay, because guess what? We got that boomerang person. Oh, I was in the singles market, I'm coming back in. Okay.
We laugh that there's a business for that. There's a business plan around working with people.
There absolutely is.
If you have a good divorce lawyer, get in with them and learn how to get those listings.
And the
the
nursing
divorce
home.
they sell, you know.
We just market about the nursing home.
Yeah.
Deanna and I just turned 50. At 50,
I'm still 49. You're 50.
all right, whatever. At 50, where are our clients coming from? Okay, the persons who are selling our parents' estates or they went to a nursing home. Our children are now first-time buyers. There's a market for everybody. Okay, but it's embracing who it is. Don't be that bougie person. Anything below my sales price. Because guess what? Your sales price just changed. It absolutely just changed.
Well, in today's $80,000 buyer is maybe a $200,000 buyer in 5 years. Or they have a family member, whatever. I have one client in my business, I call him the Kevin Bacon of my business. Because he's connected to so many of the referrals that I've had. I can probably count 15 for one client.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Yeah.
Because what you invest in your real estate career, for all my new people out there, not that you're mine, but yeah, you're mine right now, okay, is that 5 years in the business, how much is coming back to you? Is referral, 80. So if you invest 2 hours, you're gonna get 80% of that back. You have a full-time job. You gotta work it 40 hours a week. And then that's the hardest part because you don't have a lot of controls. That's why having your accountability plan here, checking in with your team leader, she's going to help them make accountable. I love the fact that you all said that, Deanna, you said it, about your leadership is having you be accountable now.
Yeah.
Right?
All the way around.
Yeah, absolutely. Determine who your target client is, figure out their story. The more personal you get, the better you'll serve your clients. Who specifically is your target client? It could be first-time home buyer, home seller, renter, or more specific subset like retirees or investors. Some people just always want to rent. That's okay. But there are renters out there who were not able to purchase because the cash buyer out there, the Canadian, the investors were coming from Israel, all over the world, were gobbling up the properties, and your buyer didn't have the chance. Yeah, seller's assist is something. Ask your lender, ask your leader, what is seller's assist? What is this you speak on?
Sorcery.
I feel like it, yeah. I'm back in colonial Plymouth.
Yeah.
No, it's a term. Get familiar with it. Okay. What's your target client story? Ask your clients specific questions and create a strategy based on their answers. Where do they want to live? What's their annual household income? What do they want from their home? Does school district matter?
Yes.
Does it matter as much as it used to?
Absolutely.
You think?
I do, yeah.
Oh,
It
not so
depends, yeah.
sure. Not so sure.
I think it's going down because we are seeing more people opt to not have children. But my conversation with them is that it's still going to be a factor when you go to sell the attractiveness of that area. But yeah, for taxes.
It's good for resale value, but are you talking about people who are doing more online school and homeschool and that kind of thing?
No. Well, yeah, that's part of it. Yeah. Charter schools.
Yeah.
There was a period of time where people would say, not to pick on a neighborhood, that, oh, I really like that Regent Square area, but I don't want my kid to go to Woodland Hills. Can you sell a house in Forest Hills today? Can you sell a house in Churchill? Why? Because of these reasons, they don't care. But sometimes we get in our own biases because 5 years ago, people didn't want to go. Okay, they want to go here and there. They have very successful charter schools. They have home. COVID changed a lot of that too. Okay, look at the bright side and say, you know what? worst thing that new agents do is they get too personal. They walk into a property and say, oh, I could live here. I couldn't send my kid to the school district or whatever. You know what? You're not living there. Your job is to open the door, show them what it is. You're not selling them a home. You're not that good. Just because somebody's offering you a $5,000 check, you can't sell somebody something they don't want to live. And they also know their budget. That's where your lender partner's like, you know what? What does that champagne taste for the beer pocket? So I just took beer in mass quantity. Okay.
But I feel like an age, I'm just speaking of me, I have watched neighbors go in, they check the electrical and. You're not the inspector, you're not the contractor. I mean, I have one double H salesperson, literally, hardly the ideas. She's like, also, and the inspection, man, well, you said, I said, I looked at the roof like you did, it was okay to me, I don't know, you know.
It's on the house.
Yeah, sometimes we try to be too much, and it didn't come back.
Question, where do they want to live? Answer, suburban areas with open spaces close to amenities and public transportation. Okay. If you're somebody who's like open to that, it's fine, right? It's where they want to live, not where you want them to live. That's called steering, right? Familiarize ourselves with neighborhoods. Keep track of where light rail is expanding and business routes are being cut. Folks, this is really important. I would like all of you to attend on Wednesday. These two ladies will help you with this. I'm doing something called, when I worked as a manager at a company, I was famous for doing neighborhood tours. And you've got to know the neighborhoods that you're selling. How do you know them? So I'm actually sponsoring, I hired a tour guide for the Mexican War Streets for Wednesday at 5:30. We do a walking tour. And I have a whole itinerary that I sent to these ladies here. It's so much fun because this girl is way out there. Who does it? When I say that, she's fun. You're all invited. Okay? Because I had to do it by invitation only because I can only accommodate so many people. And we actually walk and you learn the history of the war streets. And you mentioned women before. What do women have to do with war streets?
What do women have to do with the war streets? That's a good question. That isn't my normal.
So you come and you learn. Because you know what?
Sure.
Are you going to come
Yeah.
and sell that $350,000 house, $400,000 in the war streets that somebody wants to? What do you know about it? Posh, what do people know about Wilkinsburg?
What they should know is that Wilkinsburg area. And we have our school district that's coming up, and then the most important part is we lower taxes. Yeah, twice, so we are no longer the highest tax rate in the county.
And nobody wants to live in Penn Hills, right? Penn Hills was actually offering programs where they were helping people with taxes and first-time home buyers. That was being sarcastic. Nobody lives in Penn Hills. You know what? People live everywhere, but not just saying what I know. Let me go learn something about a different neighborhood. Okay, we did a great tour with Marita Garrett, was the former mayor of Wilkinsburg. She was so vested in the community. You've been on my neighborhood tours before, right? They're amazing. Learn something. I'm not charging you. Okay.
Some of the folks that was there was showing the section like housing, the low income housing, and they're looking like, how much money can you make to live there? And people don't know.
Always get out and challenge yourself to learn more because you don't know where that buyer is coming from. And it's like, I mean, I watched Forest Hills explode during the housing shortage. Guess what? There are people like me that are post children that have moved to these neighborhoods and school district. And here's the thing about a bias. Carrie Ann, you're what, 23?
Yeah.
Okay.
31.
She was like, oh, school district means a lot. You probably have young children, right?
I do.
Okay. So it means a lot to her today. Doesn't mean as much to me.
Right.
Yeah, I get the point about the neighborhoods change. This young lady over here, not this young lady, Posh, she's on her school board in Wilkinsburg. She knows those things. Also, being of service to your community as a realtor is huge. that you don't want to get on like council and stuff like that because you piss everybody off. You want to do something.
Yeah.
A school board member is volunteer. Once you get that paid job, it's like $1,000 to be a council person, it isn't worth it.
Right.
Okay, Deanna does a ton of community service. I do that. I'm on 3 different boards right now. But that's what keeps me going.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I think what Andy asked me yesterday, well, how many boards are you on and how do you do it? You know, and it's just management.
Outline your smart business goals. Your goals should be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. In other words, smart. Okay, it doesn't have to be, you know, you're going to shoot for the stars. Okay, but they say you can't boil an ocean, but you can take that bucket and you can boil that. Once your real estate business goals are smart, break down each goal into objectives. These should be the specific tasks and activities required to accomplish the goal. Example, increase qualified lead generation by 20% each month using online resources such as social media, paid advertising, and your company website. Map out your key to success. Should include a table that lists the top 3 ways to achieve business success, and more importantly, the actions required to fulfill it. Key to success, differentiate ourselves from the competition through exemplary customer service by answering phones by the 3rd ring. People still use the call, okay? And text and return texts and emails within 5 minutes, acknowledging all comments on social media. When Lori and I were out there trying to find our new home, we actually talked to somebody and they asked somebody in our title business, how quickly should you answer email? And this person, when the leader came in and they said, oh, 72 hours. Exactly, Carrie Ann, right? That person was let go that day.
Yeah.
Okay, because said, okay, I'm coming in to do this. It's like 72 hours?
Yeah.
Because this buyer over here is ready to slit your throat.
Right.
She thinks she's gonna be homeless,
Right.
right? We're not gonna let her be homeless, but it's like, you know what? I have this closing coming up. Okay, we can make things happen. But if you don't have the right partner that's gonna say, oh, 72 hours is okay.
You believe that? I go out and hunt. Some of our realtors know when to do it.
That strategic partners will work with as well. Break-even analysis. A critical part of real estate business planning is determining your break-even point. What average commission rate do you need? Are we in a 50-50 world where like you get a listing and you have to share 50-50, split in the middle? No? Well, she's going to think you're a bitch if you take 60%, if you take 4% and only pay her 3%.
Well, then I'm that girl.
Exactly. There's nothing. Thank you.
I'm that girl, but at the end of the day, sign, you know, all of the major costs of marketing is falling on me.
Exactly. And you know what? It's your decision between you and your fiduciary to your client. I'm doing a drone. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. You know what? You can get that from your buyer. Know your value. Okay? Don't become bargain Betty. Okay? Don't do that. Know your value, because you know what? In this market that we are transferred to, I want that person who believes in themselves and says, you know what? I'm worth this because I am. If you want bargain Betty, go for it. She uses a flip phone. You don't have to say she does that. Show them her listing if they bring her up. Oh, look at this. The toilet seat's open on the fixtures. Things like that. Towels, mess in the kitchen. It's okay. This is what I do. Know your value. Absolutely know your value. This is not a time to say, I'm going to go and cut my salary.
Yeah, but even like, you know, before, like with stage, I was like, I'm not paying all that money to stage a house, right? But my last most expensive sale, I think if I didn't stage it, it wouldn't have sold as quickly. But people have to visualize what I do with my highest well, I'll pay it up front. And then you reimburse me back. I close it. So I'm giving them the confidence, like, well, if I'm giving you my money, you know we close.
Did you ever see Bargain Betty's staging? She gets folding lawn chairs and brings them in.
Table, TV trays.
Yeah, that's how she stages. Is that what you want?
I mean, for sure, one in home, when I sold it in 3 days, I think it was 50. And if it wasn't staged, this Google engineer who's never had a house, he's already been a roommate, couldn't see himself living
No, and too many people can't.
there.
They can't say, they cannot visualize. Everybody wants open concept, they don't know what the hell to do with it. Where's this shit go?
Yeah.
Where's my air? Where's my little compartment?
Well, I think into that, like what you have, because I'll have buyer's agents try to negotiate their commission with me because,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
only 2% or whatever. And just having the confidence to be like, first of all, hold up, this is between me and my seller. This is what you're getting. Take it with your buyer if you want more. Negotiate that with your buyer. Don't come at me. This is what we're offering you.
I worship you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And she
That's
talked
exactly it.
really nicely to how she actually.
Yeah, I say kind of like that. I was
That was her nice. Okay, critical part of the real estate business. Yeah, I'm sorry. It is determine your break-even point. What average commission rate do you need? We did talk about this again, but that's really important. Achieve your per unit to break even each month. This is how you know. You need to know. Not, oh shit, Trace's over there is scaring me. I think I'll do it for 5%. Really? How are you going to negotiate to sell my house if you can't even negotiate your own commission? Get the hell out the door. If you want bargain Betty, go for it, sister. I'm not that person. That's where the professional, we're going to rise in this market. Definitely going to rise. Understanding the market. Crucial to stay on top of your target client's market. Successful agent will know when the market has behaved in the past few years, as well as where it's headed and why. Don't look at data, because this buyer, seller is actually looking at information in San Diego, and guess what? Australia. Do you know how much real estate business ads are written about Australia? And unless you read it, you understand, we're not in Australia.
Right.
We're not in Australia. And you have to look where the sources are coming from, but the clients don't know that. I had a really interesting, as I was a manager for a company, and we did a really good training. And it was while the market was hot as hell. All right, and we had a buyer, this one agent had a buyer that lost the house. Okay, it was happening a lot, right? So her agent went to that neighborhood where she wanted to live and gave statistics of what things were selling for in the neighborhood and said, hey, do you know what your home is worth? And because they did that direct marketing door to door, literally went door to door and left that information, didn't mail it or anything like that. Everybody's interested in real estate. They see you leaving a flyer on the door. Make sure they don't have a no solicitation in their municipality at first. You got to check that. And when she went there and gave the statistics, she got 4 listing appointments. This was a year ago when it was hot as hell. And you know why these people said they weren't listing their home? Because they didn't think it was a good market, because they didn't see a lot of for sale signs. They don't know what we know. The public is 6 months behind us. They really don't know what we know. The past 6 years, the housing market for first-time buyers has grown an average of 3% annually. The percentage is expected to grow because millennials, the biggest group currently purchasing their first homes, are attracted to the region's stable and growing tech industry. Segment your market. Let's look at the target client in a sample real estate business plan. Suppose the target client is a first-time home buyer. That's Allie, our early 20-year-old. How can we segment that market further to include even more detailed and relevant information? Here are 2 potential market segments for a first-time home buyer. First-time home buyers, single family. First-time home buyers, multi-generational. What is a first-time home buyer? Not you. Gee.
What is? What do you mean, what is?
I'm asking the question.
Okay.
You invited me
No,
here.
I know that.
Okay.
But what do you mean, what is? What is
What's a first-time home buyer?
the person who has purchased the house? 5 years? They're-
This person who just got divorced, that already owned a home, can be a first-time home buyer, right? Because I bought it with my spouse. This person who's widowed, this person who hasn't owned a home in 10 years, they can qualify for things starting over. Okay? This is where your lender partner helps you. Guess what? I have a first-time home buyer. Well, they already own a home. Their husband just died. It's okay. Right? That's why you have your strategic partners as well.
So Steve, it's interesting that first time for generational. That is a key word, and it's certainly in my life for the last month, right? But I'm starting to understand from, my other life, what that means, like when we're looking at multi-generational. Mother, house.
Your boomerang child who just got divorced and moved in with their twins.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly. There's plan for the market growth. Map out how much growth you anticipate in your market. Use it to forecast a number of potential clients over the next few years. Track market trends in your real estate business plan with a table listing possible outcomes on the right and trends on the left. Potential customers, target customer, other customer, year 1, 2, and 3. Okay, like Jen said before, hey, the $80,000 buyer today, where are they going to be later on? What market trends do you foresee impacting your business and market segments? Here's a real estate business plan sample that projects a possible outcome for a rise in multi-generational living. It's on the rise. Possible outcome. Clients may want larger homes, split levels, or with secondary suites. Develop a SWOT analysis, strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. That's what every business plan needs, a SWOT analysis. Your strengths, weaknesses, opportunity, and threats. Some sample real estate business plan SWOT questions include, what sets me apart from my competition? If you don't know that, how do you explain that on a listing or a buyer agency appointment? What skills need improvement? And are there any opportunities I'm overlooking? Are we sometimes our hardest critics? Strengths, solid understanding of challenging facing first-time home buyers. Maybe it is that recently divorced, single person, whatever. That's something that they have a strength, but they understand that. Their weakness, they're overstaffed. Opportunity, raise brand awareness among first-time buyers. And threats, cash flow could force us to reduce our staff. Maybe don't hire them as a team, use people around you. Recognize your competition. Who's your primary competition in your target market? What makes them your primary competition? How will you outperform them? This is a very delicate balance. I know that we go after the same person, but if I'm too busy, what do they call that, stalking her, I'm not minding my own business. I know she's out there, but I don't want to stalk her. I want to see what she's doing and be aware of that.
That's right.
Don't copy her. Competitor, XYZ Real Estate, strength, 13 years in operation, multiple buyer and seller agents and licensed assistants. Action, focus on becoming trusted real estate advisor and hire licensed licensed assistant as soon as viable. Create a marketing strategy. Every real estate business plan template needs a marketing strategy table. Highlight your resources and key features like this sample. Website, our own key features, listing at least 5 photos each, blogs, articles, reviews, white papers, MLS, and IDXB. Social media, 1 listing for every 3 real estate related but non-sales posts. Congratulate clients on recent buys, sales, and anniversaries. Fund real estate eye candy. Let me stress something to you all right now about this stuff right here. I'm not going to tell you not to post your views on abortion and stuff like that. That's common sense. But I am going to tell you, as a real estate educator, that the state has already come up with the renewal stuff for the next renewal period. And we're going back to where we were 2 years ago. Property management rules and regulations. Why? Because you're all breaking the rules. And This is, and the state's looking at it very, very seriously because there's more people are working remotely from home. You have to have your license with a broker. You need to have a broker who understands and can tell you, don't do that. You're going to get yourself into trouble. And it's really interesting. Just so you all know, the state has been hiring more and more testers. They do this after you have your mandatory continuing education. I see agents out there all the time. Hey, I'm getting this on the market in 2 weeks. You can't do that. Okay, I saw it two today. Laura used to tease me because she goes, "You're always on social media." Yeah, as a manager, I was checking to see what you all were doing. So I can tell you, Denise, don't do that. I don't want you to get in trouble.
But even from my understanding, they're gonna start looking at like people going in, say like you're taking a bite of the apple, right? And you're like videotaping it. You don't have a client with you, you're videotaping it. Or you're in, it's in California. You know, and me as a seller, I didn't give permission to videotape the home. So they're breaking down on that.
Yeah, because she might be selling it to the person who's going to break in the property.
Yeah.
And that's happened, by the way, folks. We've had real estate agents go in and steal jewelry and stuff like that out of homes in the past.
Well, I mean.
Right out of Washington, PA, big high-end producers were actually going through, they caught them from their lock boxes when they started tracking them when that was new. People find ways. You only need 75 hours of education. And boy, you know, and Taj puts all her stuff out on social media, and we're gonna snatch them earrings up over there. Okay, right out the jewelry box.
Last week, the house was vacant, and kids thought, you know, they didn't realize it closed, and the seller had to move them. They had a true party. They got a Snapchat and invited people to this man's house.
How did you do that?
They climbed through the second floor window. And when I say a party, they had like chips and dips and on the table. Yeah, it all set up and everything. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it's just. Okay, so those are the things you want to do. One listing for every 3 agents, but non-sales posts congratulate clients on rent buys. Get their permission first. Maybe they haven't told their family yet. List ways to generate leads. Always keep a list of effective methods to generate leads. Always update the list when new strategies come up. The lead generation list is in your real estate development business plan, and it is as simple as this. Website our own, leads per year, 480. Use market growth trends and other real estate marketing strategies to predict your annual sales for the next 3 years. Here's an example table from our real estate business plan PDF. Forecast, agent sales, broker sales, referrals, other year 1, 2, and 3. Again, we can go over this stuff if you want to sit down one-on-one. Outline your personal expenses. Know what you're spending a year will help you determine your break-even point and set reasonable expectations for growth. A simple expense table allows you to project your personal expenses through the next 3 years. Example, title, transaction coordinator. Function, project coordination, client relations, scheduling based pay, and bonuses. Year 1, 40,000, 242, 45, 150 for year 3. Measure your client experience. Keep track of all the services you offer. Measure how quickly you deliver them. This is crucial in any real estate business planning document. It helps you build a strong client relationship and track the results over time. Here's an example for measuring response time. Response time to incoming queries. Measurement, less than 1 minute regardless of whether it comes by phone or email. Use a client relationship management tool, CRM. There are many CRM tools out there. It's easy to find one that fits your needs. Hopefully y'all have one that helps you make yourself accountable. Do you want to track the analytics? Use it for email marketing. Keep track of property and listing details. Automate your marketing efforts. You have to have written things to follow your plan. This is where most agents fail. Because you're also missing, right? There was 10 homes on the market, you got 200 buyers. I don't know how everybody was so busy. They were. You ever meet a real estate agent who wasn't busy? What were they busy doing? You got no listings. I used to have one agent, I love her to death, and she would do like 1 a year. because that's all she really wanted to do. But she had that one listing, oh my God, I'm busting my ass. That's what she'd tell me. And I love her to death. It's like, I knew she was gonna walk in the office, like, busting my ass with this one listing. Okay, that's fine. Manage your leads and connections along with their progress through the real estate journey. You can prioritize leads who are actively looking, submitting offers, and under contract. Okay, these are the ones you're going to spend a lot of time with, right? This order. You got to pay attention to all of them. Jot down other tools you're using, especially transaction management tools and their specific functions. If you're at this stage and you got a lot of people up here, what are you doing down here? What are you doing with the under contract ones? If you don't have enough time. You're ignoring them? Why? I should hope not.
I mean, if you don't have enough time, unless you have an automated system.
If you have an automated system, or you know what? Hey, title girl, can you help me? It's under contract. Okay. Throw her some bucks. Don't be cheap. Okay, don't be cheap. Nobody wants a cheap chick. Not in real estate. If they do, you don't want to be the cheap chick, do you? Teresa, you don't want to be cheap chick real estate. You work too damn hard for that. I know you're not.
I'm not cheap, so.
Calculate your business plan performance. The final step in your real estate business plan template is measuring the plan's performance. Track performance-related questions and how you'll measure them. Here's a sample question, a measurement example that many agents use for real estate business planning. Where are our marketing success metrics? Increase lead conversions and sales. This is something that we're doing at Avenue to Close that I wanted to wrap up with today. Not only can we help you with your business plan, we also, you all know what respite is? Okay. We don't want to be afraid of respite, right? Well, we actually have a way that you can do a JV with us. Okay. This is something we talk about one-on-one. Number one, Avenue to Close provides a respite compliant joint venture with passive revenue stream for real estate agents and brokers by sharing divided profits back to its parties on a quarterly basis. On average, our partners earn over 400% return on investment. Year over year, our partners and their clients receive exceptional service, expedite professional communication, and the most transparent title experience in the industry. Lori and I are reunited, like I said. She's herb on peaches, right? Okay, and we looked very hard to find the right fit. And we kind of were like little nomads for a little bit there. And I can tell you one thing about my bestie over there. She does not take change lightly. Okay, she is a faithful person. She's one of the best friends I've ever had in my life. And Deanna's the same kind of girl. So I've known both of them well. And it was a big deal for us to do what we did. But we are in the position right now where we can also help people and also work somewhere we're believing. You're not working for AGM because they suck. You're not working for KW or wherever you're working because you suck, right? No, you're working there because you believe where you're working, right? And anyway, that's where we're at. We can help you with this and help you make more money down the road. Any questions from anybody? Because that's our last slide. We're more than happy to come in, meet with you one-on-one, two-on-two. Okay, but no questions from anybody? No?
Awesome information though.
I'm glad I saw you with that, shared your little Facebook thing and Tracy says, oh, I gotta be a KW agent.
Oh, yeah, I saw.
That's her. And then she wore red. She tried to sneak in.
Oh, we're red.
She came in like, oh, I'm working for KW, sneaking in her red outfit. Anyway, honestly, I am hoping to do a lot more trainings with you all. Working together to navigate through any market, helping you build your business along with your management and ownership team. And loving this view up here.
Yeah, this will be, not that when you go to the third floor, you have access to this also, you just have to make a reservation, right?
You already have a closing schedule here, right? She did it already.
Your
Damn, Dave.
admin office is in here too.
What's that?
Your admin office is in this building.
It is, it's being built out.
Okay.
We have the lease, we should be ready around October. We're able to work in here already. Yeah, so it's really
I
cool.
want to work out.
Um,
Yeah.
We are actually going to have, in September, October, we're having a party announcing us. Right?
Yeah.
Is it September or October?
I'm hoping for September, so it'll be.
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah, so we're actually gonna have a party, it's, our company's putting it on to, announce that we are Peaches and her.
It's not thank you, because we're actually with K&S.
No, it's gonna be for everybody, yeah,
No,
absolutely.
I'm just saying,